We are given an integer array called nums. Let its length be n, so n equals len of nums. The required output is a new array called ans. The phrase concatenation of nums with itself means that ans must contain every element of nums in its original order, followed immediately by the same sequence again. Our task is to construct and return that new array. The constraints state that n equals the length of nums, with 1 less than or equal to n and n less than or equal to 1000. Therefore, nums is never empty. Each value nums at index I lies between 1 and 1000. These value bounds do not affect index placement, but the length bound confirms that a direct linear construction is efficient enough. One copy of nums contains n elements. The output contains 2 complete copies. Therefore, its length is n plus n, combining like terms gives n plus n equals 2 times n. Thus, ans must have exactly 2n positions, indexed from 0 through 2n-1. This length calculation determines the amount of storage that we must allocate. The first required condition is ans at index I equals nums at index I, for every I satisfying 0 less than or equal to I and I less than n. This interval describes the first n output positions. Therefore, the element originally stored at nums index I must be copied to the identical index I in the first half of ans. The second condition is ans at index I plus n equals nums at index I, again for 0 less than or equal to I and I less than n, adding n shifts every original index into the second half. When I is 0, the destination is n. When I is n-1, the destination is 2n-1. By definition, concatenating arrays A and B places every element of A first and every element of B afterward, without changing either internal order. Here, both arrays are nums. This definition applies because the requested output is explicitly 2 consecutive copies of the same finite array. Therefore, ans is mathematically nums concatenated with nums. We can express the concatenation using one output index j. If 0 is less than or equal to j and j is less than n, then ans at j equals nums at j. If n is less than or equal to j and j is less than 2n, then ans at j equals nums at j minus n. This piecewise rule covers every output position. We now begin the algorithm. Since the required output length is 2n, create ans with exactly 2n placeholder positions. In Python, the statement ans equals an opening bracket 0 closing bracket multiplied by 2 times and performs this allocation. The 0 values are temporary, each position will be overwritten by a value from nums before the array is returned. Each source element must be used exactly once to populate both copies. The valid source indices are 0 through n-1. Python's range of n generates precisely those integers because it includes 0 and excludes n. Therefore, we use the loop for I in range of n. This loop neither misses a valid source index nor accesses nums at the invalid index n. At a current loop index I, the first required condition says ans at I must equal nums at I. We apply that condition directly with the assignment ans opening bracket I closing bracket equals nums opening bracket I closing bracket. The source and destination use the same index. After this assignment, output position I contains the correct value for the first copy. For the same loop index I, the second condition requires ans at I plus n to equal nums at I. We therefore assign nums at I to ans at index I plus n. Because 0 is at most I and I is less than n, the destination ranges from n through 2n-1, exactly the second half of ANS. After range of n is exhausted, every valid I has been processed. For each such I, both ANS at I and ANS at I plus n have been assigned. These two destination sets cover all indices from 0 through 2n-1. Therefore, no placeholder remains, and the method can return ANS. This return value is the requested concatenated array. Now trace the algorithm with nums equal to the array 1, 2, 1. Counting its entries gives n equals 3. Substituting n equals 3 into the output length formula gives 2n equals 2 times 3, which equals 6. Therefore, we allocate ANS as 6 zeros. This is the current state before any loop iteration occurs. In the first iteration, I equals 0 and nums at index 0 equals 1. Applying the first assignment places 1 at ANS index 0. Applying the second assignment uses destination I plus n, which is 0 plus 3, equal to 3, so ANS index 3 also becomes 1. The intermediate array is now 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. In the second iteration, I equals 1 and nums at index 1 equals 2. The first assignment changes ANS index 1 to 2. For the second assignment, I plus n equals 1 plus 3, which equals 4. Thus, ANS index 4 also becomes 2. The new intermediate array is 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0. In the final iteration, I equals 2 and nums at index 2 equals 1. The first assignment places 1 at ANS index 2. Next, I plus n equals 2 plus 3, which equals 5, so the second assignment places 1 at ANS index 5. The resulting array is 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. The loop now stops because range of 3 contains only 0, 1, and 2. Split the result after index 2. The first half is 1, 2, 1, which equals nums. The second half is also 1, 2, 1, which again equals nums. Therefore, the traced result is exactly nums followed by nums and matches the required example output. To prove correctness generally, choose any output index j satisfying 0 less than or equal to j and j less than n. The loop includes iteration I equals j because range of n contains every integer in that interval. During that iteration, the first assignment sets ANS at j equal to nums at j. Hence, every position in the first half satisfies the original requirement. Now choose any output index j satisfying n less than or equal to j and j less than 2n, define I equals j minus n, subtracting n from the interval gives 0 less than or equal to I and I less than n. The loop therefore processes I, and its second assignment gives ANS at I plus n equal to nums at I. From I equals j minus n, substitute j minus n for I in the equation ANS at I plus n equals nums at I. The left index becomes j minus n plus n. The negative n and positive n cancel, leaving j. Therefore, ANS at j equals nums at j minus n, which is exactly the required second half rule. The first destination set contains indices 0 through n minus 1. The second destination set contains indices n through 2n minus 1. These sets do not overlap, and together they contain exactly 2n indices. The loop performs exactly n iterations because range of n is finite. Consequently, the algorithm terminates and writes every output position exactly once. The loop runs once for each of the n source indices. In every iteration, it performs 2 array reads and 2 array writes, a constant amount of work independent of n. Therefore, total time is n multiplied by a constant, giving big O of n. This is asymptotically optimal because producing an output of length 2n requires writing at least 2n values. The returned array contains 2n elements, so the output itself uses big O of n space. Apart from that output, the algorithm stores only n and the loop index I, each requiring constant space. Thus, auxiliary space excluding the required result is big O of 1. Including the returned array, the total additional storage is big O of n. A common error is looping through range of n plus 1. That range includes I equals n, but the final valid source index is n minus 1. Attempting nums at index n would therefore raise an index error. The correct loop is range of n. Likewise, the final second half destination is n minus 1 plus n, equal to 2n minus 1, not 2n. Another dangerous approach is iterating directly over nums while appending new elements to nums itself. The iteration may continue seeing the newly appended elements, so the array keeps growing and the loop may fail to terminate. Our algorithm avoids this problem by leaving nums unchanged and writing into a separate fixed-length array named ANS. The original input is preserved throughout execution. The completed method first computes n as len of nums, allocates ANS with 2n positions, and loops over range of n. It assigns nums at I to both ANS at I and ANS at I plus n, then returns ANS. The proof established both required index equations, the trace matched the sample, and the complexity is linear time with constant auxiliary space excluding the output.